the aim of this interview is to show people how beneficial it is to donate to guide dogs, and there's donation pots like there somewhere. So yeah, I'm just going to ask Cameron some questions about his like visual impairment and his guide dog. Yeah, so well done, by the way. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
I liked your little joke about your imaginary wife.
It's really serious to me.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the first question is, what is your condition and how long have you had it for?
Well, I've had it since birth. And
Go
it's
close
called...
to your mic.
Okay. I've had it since birth, and it's called Leber's congenital amaurosis, which sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous because Leber was a fraud, and basically it's a really under-researched genetic condition, and he decided, I'm going to put my name in that. And amaurosis apparently just means can't see, so he's just cheated history by putting his name on it. There's a lot of myths surrounding it, but basically it's supposed to be the connection between the optic nerve and the brain doesn't work for no apparent reason, due to some genetic deformities or something. It's a strange one. No one really knows about it, but that's what I've got.
So it's from birth?
Yeah, from birth.
So you're completely blind from birth?
Yep.
And when did you get your guide dog? How long have you had it for?
I've had it for 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah. Yeah, I got him when I was 21. He just turned 2, so he'll be 9 in August, and yeah, we've had 7.
So what was the process of getting a guide dog?
Well, it took a while because there's a waiting list. I applied to Guide Dogs UK, and they sent someone out to come and visit me, and what they do there is they talk to you about why you might want a guide dog, and they talk you through the process, kind of see if you're suitable, because not everyone's suitable. You know, if I was just sat at home all day doing nothing, there'd be no reason for me to have a dog. And they assess your travelling skills, so you have to have, you have to be able to get around anyway.
Did you have to have white cane training before you had your guide dog? Because I know that's a thing now.
Yeah, I had that since I was in school, so
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What are the difficulties you face on a day-to-day basis?
It's quite a hard question
isn't it? It's probably a lot of things.
I would say that real difficulties are, going to new places that I haven't been before. It's not as simple as just turning up and finding things. So that's probably the main one. But honestly, other things, you can accommodate for, and you can deal with. There's so many incredible things that we have now. Like, if I don't know what something is, I can just take a photo of it, and then the app will tell me what it is, or I can video call some people all over the world. There's an app called Be My Eyes. We've got 400,000 volunteers. So if you're lost, you need someone to tell you where you are, describe it. You can video call them, or you can find out if your chicken's gone out of date or something.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, honestly,
I think I need that.
Yeah,
what's that app called?
It's called Be My Eyes.
Be My Eyes. Because I have bread in my kitchen. Apparently it's green, but I didn't eat it. I didn't see it like that, but I need that app.
No more green bread.
No.
The aim of the game.
So how do you explain what you can see to a sighted person? Because I always get, how do you see? And you try to explain it, but it's hard, obviously. But how do you explain what you can see to a sighted person?
It's fairly easy for me in that I can't really see anything other than light.
So shadows and...
No, I can't see shadows. But when I try and explain the light that I can see, people don't understand because there's no colour in it.
Yeah.
So it's just bright or dark. So I know when the sun's out, I know when I've left the light on, I know if I'm on fire, but anything else? no definition.
I guess it's probably like when, say, you're sunbathing and people, just normal sighted people, when they close their eyes and they see kind of like a red light, it might be like that for sighted people, I'm not sure.
It's possible, although I wouldn't know what red is to begin with, so I couldn't guess on what colour it is, but as far as I know, there's no colour in it, it's just the brightness.
Okay.
It's just the eye reacting to
so you can tell when it's a light and day?
Yeah, I know the sun's out.
Okay. Light and dark, and dark, not light and day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So tell us about how Ed makes life easier for you than if you didn't have him. And would you have the confidence to walk around with just a cane? You did at one point.
Yeah.
Tell us about how Ed makes it easier for you.
So, a lot of the reason why people have guide dogs is to do with the way they travel and the preferences they have. And for me, it's really it really works for me because he's able to watch out for obstacles and any changes. He'll stop if there's something in the way, and I can concentrate on knowing where we're going, like whether we need to turn left here across this road. Some people prefer using a cane because it actually gives more tactile information as to their surroundings. But there are other things as well. For me, it really helps in crowds because people get out of the way of a dog a lot more, which is nice. And so I think it's all down to preference. But for me, he's been brilliant. A lot of it's also a confidence thing. So knowing someone's there, kind of with a working pair of eyes, kind of watching out for things. I think that definitely has a part to play in it. But for me, it's just a really easy, smooth way of travelling. Unless there's a tennis ball around, that's quite dangerous.
Cool. So, what made you decide that you needed a guide dog? Was it a hard step to take forward? Because with me, when I take steps forward, it kind of hurts a little bit, and then you go for the emotional stage first, and then you kind of accept it.
Of
so
course.
What was it like with you?
You're going through a lot of changes, so that's understandable. Whereas for me, I kind of, it's been my life the whole time, so I haven't necessarily had so much. I had an idea from quite an early age that I wanted to have a guide dog, though I may not necessarily knew why. But like I say, it really does help with the kind of way I like to travel, because I'm also a bit of a daydreamer, and sometimes that's kind of useful when you're walking and someone's kind of avoiding obstacles, so you can daydream. But at the same time, it doesn't really work like that, because you have to be fully alert all the time to kind of direct the dog and tell him where we're going and stuff. But also, the girls like it, don't they? So that's what I think.
But you're not allowed to stroke a working guide dog, right?
No, absolutely not. Not when
Absolutely
we're walking. I don't really mind, if we're stood still and stuff. I think people have different views on that. Some people are really against it. I don't mind it at all. But if I'm walking along, please don't stroke the dog, because it's going to end badly. Because
the guide dog gets distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm a bit more when just stood still or whatever. So.
Yeah. Has there been any challenges with your guide dog? Like, has he made any mistakes, or he probably has, or just any challenges that you've had with your guide dog?
Oh, we've all made mistakes, Naz.
Yes. I know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes he's a dog at the end of the day, and sometimes, especially when I first moved here, it doesn't matter where I wanted to go, he would turn towards the sea for the first month. So, it's just a good tug of war every morning. But I think probably the biggest challenge of having a guide dog is actually the problem that we have with taxis and Ubers and restaurants. And it's been quite highlighted recently. where people don't know the law and they say no dog's allowed, and you say he is allowed. He's an assistance dog. They're allowed everywhere.
Oh, what I want to know, can you take guide dogs on planes?
Yeah, you can.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because when I have a guide dog in the future,
you've got to do quite a bit of research and preparation into it, and make sure he's, had all his checks and vaccinations at the vet.
So
where you're going, but yeah, you've got to, and you can do that.
Where have you been, and they've said that your guide dog isn't allowed?
Well, I actually had it today.
Oh, okay. Where's that? Not in here, I hope.
Yeah, no, on the way here.
Not in here though.
No.
Good.
No, not in here. No.
Whereabouts was that?
It's not spreading rumours. No. I tried to get in a taxi and the guy was like, there's certain cars that are for dogs. And I said, no, there isn't. That's not true. And he said, yeah, but some people have allergies. And I said, are you telling me you've got an allergy? And he said, no. And I said, well, we're all right then, aren't we? So he drove here in a bit of a sulk. But yeah, so it does happen sometimes. I've been pretty lucky, to be honest. It hasn't happened to me many times. There's been a few famous videos, Facebook, of people being refused into restaurants and things. So, yeah, it's not good. But I think that's the biggest challenge, really. Yeah.
And make sure you're closer to your mic as well.
Oh.
What is the funniest thing that your guide dog has done? You've told me a story before, but anything that you can think
they
of?
both involve food. The first one, we were walking to college one day a few years ago. Someone had obviously dropped a whole burger on the floor, and he knew that if he kind of bent down to pick up and start chewing it, I would just tell him off and take it off him. So he somehow managed to sneakily, didn't break stride, picked it up, and he just held it in his mouth. He just held it completely still for the whole journey. And then we got to the college door, and I just suddenly heard him eating furiously. And there's just this burger hanging out of his mouth. And the second one was, we were in, I don't know which one, Sainsbury's probably, and this lady had got a big French baguette hanging out at the end of her basket. And he just didn't even turn his head, he just bit the end off, carried on.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So what is the most stupidest question someone has asked you? I always get, why don't you wear glasses? And it really annoys me, but I get that quite a lot.
I've had some pretty stupid questions. Some of
Go
them are
on.
probably not really
Surprise
repeatable.
me.
I think the best one was, I was at a party once, and the guy was like, are you really blind? I was like, yes. Are you really? Yes. Kept on saying it, eventually I was like, no, I'm just doing it for tax reasons. And eventually, I could just hear his brain going, the cogs moving around, and eventually he sort of said, so, can I ask you, did you learn sign language at school?
What?
Yeah, because that's the thing that blind people do, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, on that note, did you learn Braille?
I did learn Braille, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Not
I
sign
started
language.
I used to, you're supposed to read it with two hands, and I used to read it with the index finger of my left hand. I don't really know why. And then I started playing guitar, and now I've got a callus, and I can't read anymore. So I've ruined my own literacy.
Well, we've got technology now, so
Yeah. So
just voiceover and everything, it just reads out for you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Last few questions. How important is it to donate to Guide Dogs UK? Oh, maybe we should tell everyone how much a guide dog costs in its lifetime as well.
Well, I've done my research now.
Have you? So have I.
Okay. Well, hopefully one of us has got it right. So
Probably not me.
Okay, so a guide dog's training costs £32,400, I believe.
£32,400.
Yeah.
I heard it was £50,000 in its lifetime.
Yeah.
Or over
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So the partnership then, with vet bills, food, and things like that is another 12,000. So I think it totals to sort of 44,000.
It's a lot of money.
Per dog. There's a lot of people who have dogs, a lot of people who need dogs, and you know, it's really a worthwhile thing to do, to donate. You know, sometimes you donate to charities and all you're doing is paying for some chief execs to have some nice salmon for lunch. But it's none of that with this. You know, it goes to a really good cause, and a lot of people, young and old, really benefit a lot from having dogs. So please give what you can.
How long? I heard you're only allowed to keep your guide dog for about 8 years or something. Is that?
It's not.
Or you're allowed to keep it for longer, but it's only working for 8 years.
I mean, he'll retire when he needs to retire. You know, some dogs it's earlier. You know, if they've got arthritis or they just, you know, some dogs just don't want to do it anymore. And so it's about from case to case. You know, just kind of working out what's right for the dog. But yeah, they usually retire sort of 10, 11, and then you can you know, keep them or rehome them if it's easier, or if it's better for the dog. So.
Cool. So this is the last question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes. So I'm extremely ready.
Okay. So what would your advice be to anyone who is suffering with an invisible illness?
I think.
Get a guide dog.
Well, I mean, it depends on the invisible
Learn
illness.
sign language.
Yeah, learn sign language.
If you're blind, don't.
I think it's hard to kind of generalise everyone sort of in one category, but I think one of the things that is prevalent with people is a lack of confidence, and there's various reasons for that, and I could probably talk for half an hour, but I won't.
You don't have half an hour, I'm
yeah,
afraid.
exactly. But I think the best thing I can say is, you know, just be who you are and own it and be confident. And you know, if people tell you can't do something and you feel like you can, then they're wrong, aren't they?
Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you for being brave and answering these questions. Yes, I wrote that down in case I forgot to say that. But yeah, thank you. That was really brave of you to perform. That was his first time performing as well. First gig, wasn't it? It was your first gig, and yeah, and it's just really brave of you to do this interview as well, as it's quite a personal question. So thank you so much for taking part in this fundraising event. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cool. We're going to have a small break again.